Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on an episode of Side Flick. My name is Chris. The background is starting to get packed away into the new studio, so that means green screen's going up, and your suggestions for the background are coming in. What's the first madness? Shaw the Swordsman says, I think the perfect background would be a photoshopped image of Chris standing next to Elon Musk. I'm gonna make it a buddy cop poster. Do we look fantastic? Some of the news that we're going to be diving in here today for Side Flick is we have the first piece of merchandise for the Batman released online, giving us a nice little promotional look of Robert Pattinsons Batman and a better look of the Batmobile. A ton of horror news concerning a lot of Blumhouse movies and even our first look to the Purge 5 and Don't Breathe 2, as well as even discussing a Green Lantern movie. That's right, movie, not a TV series like we've been hearing. So I'm gonna need you guys to leave me your opinions down below on what you think of everything we discuss here today. Stop staring at that poster. My face is right here, you creep. You guys are the most important part of Side Flick, so I appreciate every single one of y'all who tune in, have fun with me, discuss movies, and are hitting that subscribe button, especially the ones that hit the subscribe button, and leave your suggestions for the next couple videos. Alright, so starting off here on Side Flick, you know how we do. If there's an up-and-coming movie that has an interesting sounding premise, I want to bring it to your guys' attention because the little guys need attention too, and this popped up right before I posted the new Side Flick, and Bloody Disgusting here has it reported as Back to the Future meets Scream in freaky writer Michael Kennedy's next movie, Time Cut. Are you freaking kidding me? We're getting a movie that's being described as Back to the Future, my favorite movie of all time, meets Scream, my other favorite horror movie of all time. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to give me this movie right freaking now. Just hearing that makes me automatically want to be invested in this. Some could say maybe it's like Happy Death Day, but I don't really know if that dealt with time travel. That was more like just living the same day over and over. With here, it looks like the time travel will be purposeful and someone is using that to their advantage to kill people, which I think is cool. I also love how it's coming from the writer of Freaky, because Freaky was one of those underrated horror movies of last year. I really enjoyed that. Not a lot of people went ahead and saw. The only details we have right now is Hannah McPherson Into the Dark is directing Time Cut, described as Back to the Future meets Scream. That's all we know about this one for now, as plot details are under wraps. They are set to be shooting the movie this summer in Canada, so looks like this is something that we'll definitely be getting next year. I just think that sounds amazing. There's a lot of potential there. You guys hear about this horror movie being described as Back to the Future meets Scream? Does that excite you? Alright, so starting off the gate, let's dive into the Green Lantern news that we've been hearing about here. So you guys know the DCU is headed strong with their different slate of movies. We know we have DC Fandom coming up this October, and Warner Brothers is going to be trying to do their best to get you excited for the universe they have planned, especially since a lot of fans right now are asking for Restore the Snyderverse. We're probably going to get a lot of announcements and confirmations for stuff we've been hearing about, and one thing that seems to be in the pipeworks is a Green Lantern movie and the TV series that we've been hearing about. This is coming from Heroic Hollywood, who reports Green Lantern Corps film still in development with John Stewart as the lead. Now, before diving deeper into this, I do want to say Heroic Hollywood has proven right in the past, but they have also gotten some stuff wrong. However, in this case, I've seen a lot of credible articles pick this up, so it lets me know that they've heard this same thing as well. Some of the details that they have in here. An insider with the knowledge of the project tells Heroic Hollywood that a Green Lantern Corps film is still in development with John Stewart as the lead. Hal Jordan will also appear in the film in a mentor capacity. The film was initially in development and written by Jeff Johns, but it's unclear if he's still attached. That to me seems like an obvious no-brainer because, like I was telling you guys, we've been hearing about this live-action Green Lantern Corps TV series coming to HBO Max where they had almost every Green Lantern except John Stewart and Hal Jordan, arguably the most famous Green Lanterns, that were not going to be part of this series. So it was like, okay, then what are you going to be doing? And they've already gone ahead and casted one of the Green Lanterns as Guy Gardner with Finn Wittrock. I think that's great casting, and I can't wait to see what they do with this show. That's going to be an anthology following different Green Lanterns from different time periods, from the very first Green Lantern to Green Lanterns on different planets and what's all been going on here. Now that we know HBO Max and Warner Brothers are doing this thing just like Disney Plus, where they want to tie in their movies along with their TV series, this seems pretty clear that we could be getting a TV series leading us into the movie where we'll get Hal Jordan and John Stewart. I think it's pretty clear how you can make that story go. John Stewart is just the Green Lantern of Earth, while Hal Jordan, I don't know, progressed himself to the Green Lantern Corps planet and is probably just doing duties off-world. There's a lot of great stuff you could do in the Green Lantern universe, and I feel like this could be a gangbuster movie if it was just done right, and it sucks that one bad Ryan Reynolds movie ruined it for everybody. Either way, I think this is something that'll definitely get announced at DC Fandom, especially if we're hearing about it right now, so be on the lookout for a Green Lantern movie announcement and maybe who they're even going to cast as John Stewart. Leave your suggestions down below and tell me what you think about a Green Lantern movie starring these two Green Lanterns. Before we get into some of the bigger horror movie announcements that Blumhouse is planning to make, we did get our first look to a couple of upcoming horror movies that we're going to be getting this year that I'm very excited for. First one out the gate right here is the Forever Purge. This is the 5th and what is said to be the final Purge movie. We're still set to be getting this movie around the 4th of July. Here's your first look image. Definitely looks like it's some Nas X Old Town Road cowboy coming to purge your butt up, man. I'd be afraid of this man if I saw him. I do think it's kind of a cooler and unique design than some of the other Purge masks that we've seen, but they did go ahead and reveal some more plot details about the movie. They went ahead and said here, as part of a USA Today's preview of the upcoming summer movie season, a new image of the Forever Purge was revealed alongside story details. It's noted that the film will unfold after the annual purge is abolished, though a group of mass outlaw purgers in Texas refuse to give up the fight. So I guess that hat now makes a lot more sense there in Texas, and that's how we do it with our hats. I get a big kick out of the Purge movie, so I'm excited to see that, but the other first look that we got is for the movie Don't Breathe 2, a movie that really did not need a sequel, but I'm very happy is getting one. If you have not seen the first movie, I highly recommend it to y'all. But this photo right here gives us a look at the old blind man that we grew very fearful of in the first movie that is now the main character and kind of the hero, which is kind of crazy if you saw what he did in the first movie. And while it's very a nonchalant photo, just him holding a hammer, it still gets me excited to know that this film is coming out August 13th for us. If you want to know the exact plot, it goes as in Don't Breathe 2, the blind man has been hiding out for years in an isolated cabin and has taken in and raised a young girl orphan from a house fire. Their quiet existence is shattered when a group of kidnappers show up and take the girl, forcing the blind man to leave a safe haven to save her. We'll see how this turns out and which one will end up becoming the better horror movie, but you guys see these first look images for The Purge 5 and Don't Breathe 2. Which one are you more excited for, and which one do you think will be the better movie? Beginning on to a little bit about the Batman here, man. I have been dying to talk more about the Batman. That is Robert Pattinsons Batman. Specifically, though, is something that just came up moments before I posted Side Flick that I had to add on here, and that is new footage of the Batman. This has been posted online, leaked. Apparently, it's coming from a Catwoman documentary where they're just going through the history of Catwoman, and they showed snippets of new footage for the Batman here. Nothing too revealing, but still exciting because it's new footage nonetheless. We do have Matt Reeves, the director, looking suave as hell. Damn, Matt Reeves, save some for us. We also get shots of Selena Kyle with her short hair, riding her motorcycle through the cemetery, staring at a grave in here. They mention in the documentary that she's a lower class member of Gotham that was tossed aside by the system, so she's definitely going to have some sort of connection to Batman in that way, where they were both sort of orphaned at a young age but took very different paths because of the wealth they had. I think this is just really exciting stuff to see because anything new on the Batman is cool. But aside from that, we do have here our first set of merchandise from the Batman, and it's going to be the official Hot Wheels toy of the Batmobile. Now, we've already seen the Batmobile. We know what it looks like. Still really cool to see it in Hot Wheels form, and I'm not much of a Hot Wheels collector myself, but I think this is one I would definitely want to pick up right here. It is looking snazzy, but on the corner of this toy box right here, we get to see some promotional artwork for the Batman, and I gotta say, it's looking mighty fine. One thing I definitely want to point out from this is the Batmobile and the lighting they have on is resembling the 60s Batmobile from Adam West, which is a lot of the inspiration Matt Reeves is taking into his Batman movie and making it more grounded, dark, and gritty. Like, the Bat mask is Adam West's Batman mask, just with leather and I guess more modernized, but that Batmobile with those red highlights definitely looks like the 60s Batmobile, which I think is pretty awesome. I also just love the amount of turbo and exhaust coming out of all the engine parts right here. This thing is going to be fantastic to see it chase other people down the streets of Gotham. You guys see this merchandise for the Batman. Does it hype you up? Are there any details here you caught that I might have missed? Are you liking how they're wanting to promote the Batman though? And are you still excited for the movie? But now getting on to way more horror movie talk, which is why I got my little horror movie pyramid right here. We have Jason Blum, the head of Blumhouse, the studio known for making all these horror movies, movies come out and say that they're going to be doing their second annual Blumfest. Now, we live in a world now where studios think they have to do this sort of event style thing, kind of like Marvel Studios does sometime, or even like DC Fandom is doing in October as well, by the way. So we're going to have two great events in October to look forward to. But they did this event last year where it was just Blumhouse kind of announcing their upcoming movies, giving little details, cast interviews. I believe they even showed a little snippet of footage of Halloween Kills at that time. It's kind of great that they're starting this tradition and really bringing this kind of event feel to horror movies, because hey, I'm a horror movie lover and we never get stuff like this, so I like that Blumhouse is taking that initiative. Now, the reason I said to get excited for this is because the movies they're going to be talking about and revealing, I think, are some exciting stuff. For one, they're going to be talking about Halloween Ends, which is going to be the third Halloween movie, or the fourth one if you want to follow the chronological timeline. Because by this time in October, we will have Halloween Kills premiering in theaters, so they'll most likely be wanting to talk about that third movie, give us some details about that and what might be going down in it. Then you have a movie I've been talking about that is flying under the radar right here, which is basically Blumhouse's version of Child's Play 2019, where it's a movie called Megan that is about a scientist who brings to life this robotic AI doll for their niece that, of course, goes evil and starts going on a killing rampage. It's being produced by James Wan, and I am just a sucker for killer doll movies, so that is something I'm excited to hear more about, maybe even look at the design of the doll that they're going for. Last year at Blumfest, they did the surprising announcement of Insidious 5 that'll take us back to follow the family of the first two Insidious movies. This movie's even going to be directed by Patrick Wilson, and we'll be following that Insidious family, how they're dealing with all the trauma they went with 10 years later, even bringing back the original kid, which I think sounds really great. I like that Insidious world. Freaked me out for a PG-13 horror movie. I really want to see what this fifth film is about. You have the Paranormal Activity reboot that is currently in the works and that they've most likely already secretly shot, because you can make that thing in a weekend. I'd love to see new footage or what they're doing with that movie or what the direction is for the reboot. But really the thing I think everyone is going to be clamoring on about, that I'm even like, where the heck is my news update on, is Five Nights of frickin' Freddy's, man. The Five Nights of Freddy's movie, the last time we got an update, is said that they were going to be filming the film this spring, rolling the cameras, and yo, spring ends in like 1 or 2 weeks, Mr. Blum. Where is my update? By now, we should have gotten casting announcements, some more story details, locations, any sort of idea that they're currently filming this Five Nights at Freddy's movie, because it's like it's been delayed just so many years that you finally told us it's happening, filming this spring of 2021, and it's gone silent. I think October is really going to be the time when they give us a lot more updates. Maybe we'll get our first poster if they have already started filming it in secrecy. But really, I'll be completely honest with you guys. If we hear nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's by the time Blumfest happens in October, I'm thinking the movie's canceled or delayed again. I don't know why it keeps happening, but that's really where we are at the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Nonetheless, Blumfest is something I think is really cool, and I'm glad they're doing it. So I want to know from you guys, out of those lists of upcoming movies, what are you most excited to hear about? And do you think there'll be any surprise announcements? Like I said, last year they surprise announced Insidious 5. Who knows what the surprise might be this time? But that is all moon news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to hear your opinions down below with everything we discussed here today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also be smashing that like button. Suggestion more green screen videos until the new set is complete. It's going to be a while here. The process is long into moving into my new home. But again, I just want to thank all y'all beautiful faces for supporting the channel, watching me, commenting, and just like, I wouldn't be where I am today without y'all. So thank you. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.